Well, if you saw the RCB celebrations after the win, you would have thought that they've picked up the title. But, well, what has happened is that their last game of the league, they've given their fans a win, and they've also lifted themselves off the bottom of the table. They're no longer the wooden spoon holders. There is one game still to be played tomorrow. But hey, they can live this night in joy, saying, we aren't the last team anymore. A great win for RCB today against SRH. SRH needed to win this to qualify. They haven't won it, which means it goes down to the last game for KKR. We'll get to that in a second. Here, Hyderabad, you see, got to 175 thanks to a burst from Kane Williamson at the end, which saw him get 28 of an Umesh Yadav over. But Umesh having the last laugh because he hit the winning runs, didn't he?
Absolutely.
Well, just when it looked like Bangalore had got it, they threw it away, then they got it under control, then they threw it away, and then they got it under control. In the end, the horse was under control. Welcome to MPL Presents Cricbuzz Live. Lisa, enjoy with me. My goodness, what a game though, right? This is Saturday night entertainment. It's Saturday night fever.
This is why we love live sport, isn't it? We don't know what the script is going to be. Just when you thought RCB were going to win comfortably with Hetmyer and Singh out in the middle, wickets fall all of a sudden.
3 wickets go.
Trembles.
Yeah.
And 3 in the beginning, 3 in the end, some batting in the middle. I mean,
easy peasy, not a problem.
Who knows what's going on?
Well, you think that you lose Virat, so you lose Parthiv, Virat and AB when the score is on 20 when you're chasing 176. We were like, all right, this is done now. It's Hetmyer, Gurkeerat, Singh, nothing's going to happen, right? And then they go put that partnership.
Absolutely. Of course, this is a superb partnership. The great thing about this is what Gurkeerat did in the beginning. He just gave the strike on to Hetmyer. Hetmyer hit a few lusty blows, kept that run rate under 9, 10, 9, 10. That's the best part of this partnership is they never allowed the run rate to go over 10, 10 and a half.
So I read a stat that this is the first 100-run partnership not involving AB or Virat since 2013.
My God.
Which was Chris Gayle and Chiteshwar Pujara.
Wow.
It was back then. They got a 103-run partnership, 2013, and now it's 2019. It just shows the reliance that, or maybe the over-reliance that RCB has on those two players, great players as they are. Today, I think for them, perhaps the excitement, Lisa, of the win is that it's two guys who are not AB or Virat who've done this.
Well, and more importantly, Shimron Hetmyer, who played at the start, did nothing.
Yeah.
Everyone was wondering, why have they picked him up? Why has he gone for a decent amount of money? Well, obviously, he's sat in the dugout, he's worked hard, he's trained, he's figured out what he needs to do to perform. And we were saying, last chance to put your hand in the air for a contract next year. I think people will be signing him.
Yeah, well, he's checked into Last Chance Hotel, hasn't he? He's the MPL hero of the match, and he's checked into the presidential suite.
Absolutely. So, I mean, the way he again hit his innings, very strong off the back foot. And that's the interesting thing, that people like Nabi and all, Rashid being hit off the back foot, the way he went back and went across, and that's just the sheer power of the man. And of course, there's somebody, Shibashish, who's one of our producers, turned around and said something that, ever since Dilwale Dulhaniya was released in 1995, a Shimron has never let down a Shah Rukh Khan ever.
Oh, nicely said. That's right. A Shimron has never let down. And today, Shah Rukh Khan and their team were not let down by RCB. Remember that KKR fans were going RCB all night. Why? Because they didn't want Sunrisers Hyderabad to win because they would have qualified. Now, this means Kolkata still tied on points, but they've got a game in hand. That means if they win tomorrow against Mumbai, it's a big mountain, but when the going gets tough, the tough get going. KKR can catapult themselves into a qualifier position, the 4th berth that's open. And Lisa, wouldn't that be a great comeback story for a team that lost 6 in a row?
It would be a massive story. And if you were to look at the squads of Sunrisers Hyderabad and KKR, Sunrisers have lost a lot of their internationals, whereas KKR have retained it. So if you look on paper, KKR should actually qualify because I think they're a stronger side going into the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. They're a stronger side going into the playoffs. They've had that slump. Their big problem had been batting order, and that's, like India's number 4, it's been a huge issue. Now you've suddenly got a situation where, okay, we know now Shubman Gill is going to open, and if 7-8 overs are Lynn and Gill will open, and if they're 7-8 overs down, our man will come at number 4. Russell will come at number 4. Yeah. So they've solved their issues. So if they come into the playoffs, they'll be a dangerous team.
Yeah, they could. But remember, they have to beat Mumbai tomorrow at Wankhede, something they've only done once in the history of the IPL. That doesn't matter.
Records are made to be broken.
Exactly. You were there when that happened.
I was there.
I was there when that happened. Sorry, what am I saying? Even I was there when that happened. That famous evening.
That famous evening.
Didn't see anything. Don't ask me.
Then that famous evening which ended up with Shah Rukh Khan getting banned from the ground. Wankhede Stadium for 5 years apparently.
That infamous evening.
Yeah, which is about as important as Gautam Gambhir getting banned from Mehboob Studios.
Yeah.
What difference does it make to Shah Rukh Khan's life whether he can go to stadium or not? Ridiculous, man.
That actually Gautam Gambhir, any cricketer would go more to Mehboob Studios than Shah Rukh would go to Wankhede.
Exactly.
Right? That's pretty interesting. That is true. I was there, but I don't remember anything. I've just got my memories all gone blank. I remember Shah Rukh running in after the win, but it's just all gone blank.
I learned so much more Marathi that night.
Yeah, you did.
So much more Marathi that night.
The kind of Marathi you can't use.
Yeah.
Right?
Huh?
That Marathi that you can't use on air.
Yeah, not the Marathi you teach in schools.
Yeah. Not. Do you speak Marathi at all?
No.
Shame on you, Miss Sthalekar.
I know. Sanjay always points that out when we get into the commentary.
Yeah, I don't. You speak the universal language of love, which is cricket. You speak our universal language of love. That's what we at Cricbuzz believe. So it doesn't matter what language words you're using as long as you are communicating straight to our hearts. I know KKR fans are watching right now, so that's why I'm saying straight to hearts because they're romantic people, you see. The Bengalis are romantic people. By the way, you got the producer's name wrong.
Sorry, what did I say?
Sorry? It's Shirshendu.
Why did I say Shishendu? It is Shishendu.
Shirshendu.
In all this excitement.
By the way, Sean Connery would have a tough time with your Bengali names, right?
Yeah.
Shirshendu.
Sure.
Shubhashish.
Exactly.
James Bond. James Bond. SRH. It's not been a good evening for them. So have a look at the points table once again because let's see what can happen now with the 2 games that are left tomorrow. You have Chennai who are playing Kings 11 Punjab, of course. Kings 11 Punjab. Now, additional they invested more in tomorrow's game because nobody wants that wooden spoon, right, Lisa? You don't want to be sitting at the bottom of... That's not an accolade you want to take into the next season.
No, you don't. You don't. So they've got an opportunity to turn it around and also just take a bit of momentum out of Chennai Super Kings before they get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
CSK is not that bothered. We'll come back again. So CSK is not bothered because even if they... Let's see the scenarios.
Yes.
Even if they lose tomorrow, they're on 18, right? The only person who can level them is Mumbai. Mumbai comes to 18, but they've got a good enough net run rate to be 1 or 2.
Yeah, no, they're already ahead of... They're already ahead of Delhi.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. If Mumbai comes, Mumbai can go above them. If they do very well, it doesn't matter. They're 1 or 2.
So CSK pretty much doesn't need to book any flights because they, after tomorrow, will go back home and stay at home because Tuesday they play their first qualifier there. They just don't know who they're playing against. Will they be playing against Delhi or will they be playing against Mumbai? That, of course, we will know tomorrow, and that's why the second game becomes so important. The other reason is, let's look at KKR's point of view. If KKR wins tomorrow, they go to 14 and they go over Hyderabad and they qualify. If they don't, right, if they don't win, then the first time in history, a team will qualify with 12 points and that will be SRH. And SRH will look at that and say, 6 wins, 8 losses and we qualify, man, we got out of jail.
Absolutely. And after the kind of, performances where every time, I mean, the thing about SRH was today their bowling is not great.
Yeah.
Okay, you accept it. What was the shocker was the fielding.
Yeah.
Okay, Yusuf Pathan is never going to be mistaken again for Carl Lewis in his life, but on the outfield, his movements were positively,
Yeah,
but
he's also fielding at point, Joy. Point, Lisa.
A key position as well.
Yeah.
There was obviously one catch was a little bit harder than the other, but there was one absolute sitter from Hetmyer and should have been taken. And you almost get a sense that was the ball game because if they had picked up Hetmyer a little bit earlier, we would have seen the wobbles and the equation would have jumped up even more.
Yeah, I mean, you give Umesh 8 runs to get, he's like, and with the field up, you're like, listen, I'm good enough to hit 2 boundaries. Suddenly that 8 becomes 18 or 28.
Correct.
And
The self-belief would have changed completely. If they had 30-40 runs and Hetmyer was gone, this was a different ball game altogether.
Let's talk about, let's look at the bowling aggregate once and we'll see that Khalil was amongst the wickets today. He got 3 wickets there. There was Bhuvneshwar Kumar, I guess, pretty much the pick of the bowlers. Not surprising as well. There was Basil Thampi who actually bowled his 4 overs pretty tight. You were thinking that they'd go after him. That didn't happen.
Yeah, and the big thing was the way Rashid Khan went. I mean,
and Nabi both.
Rashid Khan and Nabi going is something that they're not used to.
Yeah.
And
they don't know how to cope, do they?
Huh?
They don't know how to cope.
Exactly. Yeah. They don't have that comeback ball because they're so not used to. They're used to being economical. Yeah. They don't seem to be able to come back strong. And The only plus point is that if they do happen to qualify, the next place will be Chennai, which won't be so bad.
But Lisa, did you mean the team was not able to cope, or the two individual bowlers aren't able to cope?
I think Rashid Khan he's been able to assess his game. So there's been a couple of games I think that he's gone for over 40 and he's come back. And I did an interview with him and I said, what have you worked on? He said, I was probably bowling too full and I've worked with coaching staff to get the line and lengths right. But I think as a team, they rely so heavily on him. They bank on the fact that he's going to bowl his 4 overs well. The other thing in which we were noticed as well, Nabi was bowling really flat and into Hetmyer's legs. Now, if you look at some of the footage of him playing in India, he runs down and passes the ball a lot of the time or skies it, but they didn't bowl the slower one outside off stump to entice him to hit. I know Chinnaswamy is a small stadium, so there's a fear of being whacked, but boy, there's a fear of him sitting on the back foot, making no real decisions, and he was very comfortable to whack it to mid-wicket. So I think tactically they got that wrong.
That's right. You always want to loop it up, right? Especially if you're even more on a ground like Chinnaswamy. Because you want him to take a risk.
To dangle the carrot.
Yeah, dangle the carrot.
The point of it is also they're 20 for 3. It's not that easy. Fetch it slightly further out, slightly more turning. See exactly what Harbhajan has been doing. Tossing it up, putting it out there. Say, go fetch it.
Yeah.
You hit me for 6, you hit me there. But you need more power and you need, if the ball turns a bit, I'm going to top edge. Here he's just darting it in a place where he's just using just his strength to muscle it out of the ground.
Yeah.
On a ground like this, you can muscle it out. You know, if he was playing in a larger ground, this might have been a dangerous shot. This is...
Yeah, there was one catch from Manish Pandey as well. That's like catching a missile, right?
Yeah,
you can't catch that. A missile will take you with it.
Exactly. He would have held on and gone into the crowd. But it was hit like a rocket. I mean, it just shows what Shimron Hetmyer is able to do. The unfortunate thing is that he saved his best right for the last game.
But look, everyone else was playing for a great win and all that. He was playing for next year's contract. It's a far more important game for him financially than for any of the other members of the team. Hey, let's get this right. David de Villiers and Virat Kohli are going to be back next year.
Fair enough.
But with the kind of money they paid him, if he hadn't got a runs,
Could have been problematic. Could have been another auction perhaps for him, but I don't think that's going to happen now. But also just wanted to point out about Khalil Ahmed. This is, in the 8 games he's played, this is his fifth 3-wicket haul.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, huh?
No, the question then you have to ask yourself is, why has he not played more games? I mean, if he's injured, it's fine. But if he's not injured, and if you remember,
he was not there in the beginning, right?
Correct.
I think maybe the question is he is getting wickets, but he is going. What's his economy rate? It's
today he went
9?
37 odd. Yeah.
Through the tournament,
I think maybe up around 8, 9.
Yeah.
Yes.
So maybe there's the matchups that they tend to do in T20 cricket. He doesn't quite match up with certain teams, but certainly he's a player now that teams need to. Sunrisers Hyderabad need to look at regularly and have him in their playing 11.
Absolutely. The other thing is somebody like a Zahir. Zahir is one of the finest, as I said, evaluators of talent, and he said this guy's got something, and he worked with him in Delhi. So he's had that 1 year with Zahir, and that's literally taking him to the edge of the Indian team.
Yeah. 8.21 has been his economy rate for this season. So
which isn't that bad.
Yeah, low 8s. You probably take that if he's getting
he's getting
wickets.
a lot of wickets.
Yeah,
he's getting a lot of wickets, in fact.
All
right, so it's not to be for SRH this evening. They'll have to wait for another result tomorrow. So it's quite interesting because Delhi is going to be cheering for KKR, correct, in the game tomorrow. Delhi fans are cheering for KKR.
No.
Yes.
What?
Delhi fans are cheering for KKR because then Delhi qualifies second.
Of course. Yes. Delhi's fans
Oh, yes. Sorry, Mumbai. I was thinking why? Because I want to play.
It's a very complicated
KKR?
relationship.
Yeah. We'll talk over the table. Bring it up. We'll talk over it.
This is right over out of friends. You don't know which relationship has changed now.
Exactly.
With whom.
So you see, so Delhi fans are cheering for KKR to win because that means their team qualifies second. Hyderabad fans are cheering for Mumbai to win because that's how their team qualifies. KKR fans, of course, are cheering for KKR. Mumbai fans are cheering for Mumbai. That's it.
Wait.
That's about
Chennai
it.
fans are cheering for
cheering for Dhoni as they always do.
The whole country, all 8 teams are cheering for Dhoni.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what happens. It's par for the course. All right, let's look at who our super team hero is. Who did what? What was your score? How many did you get? Oh, Raja Gangawal, congratulations, 370. La, dapper sunglasses, like in the shirt, brother, well done.
Look at the hair.
Bilkul Raja hai.
Little spiky.
Spiky hai, he's got the look And he's got the game, 370 points, our super team hero on MPL. Well done indeed, Raja. We've got the 2 matches tomorrow, but before that, let's tell you we've got 2 other games for you as well on MPL. In case Super Team didn't work out for you today, there's Pro Cricket and Run Out, so you can play those. The 2 games tomorrow. First one, of course, Chennai Super Kings playing Kings 11 Punjab. Kings 11 Punjab will play out of their skins because they don't want that wooden spoon. Mommy, I don't want to come last. They may if they don't win tomorrow. Let's have a look at their teams. For Chennai, you'd be thinking, since they've qualified 1 or 2, right? Yeah. Would they think about perhaps, they don't like making changes, so they wouldn't do anything out of the ordinary, right?
I don't think so. Not this close. You don't want to change the winning formula. The only thing is if there's slight concerns with injuries or illness or whatever's going on in the Chennai dugout, but you want to keep your same 11. They're a happy bunch, they're winning.
True, but my other point is, just playing devil's advocate, you're like, we're going into a couple of important games into qualifier week, right? An injury could happen then as well. Do you want to pick somebody out of the deep freezer, or you want to give somebody some game time just to make sure that you have an option ready?
See, my only point is, no matter what we think now, Dhoni will do exactly what it'll defy all conventional wisdom.
That doesn't mean we don't talk about it.
Yeah, but yeah.
Because with Dhoni, whatever you talk about, you have a 50-50 chance of getting it right.
Yeah.
Because you have no idea what he's going to do.
No idea what he's going to do. You can toss a coin and decide. But I'll tell you, this has happened actually in 2010. In 2010, the Mumbai Indians were the dominant team in the tournament. I think Sachin got a ton of runs and a lot of other guys. Yeah. Saurav Tiwari came to the party. They were a dominant team. Satish was doing very well for them. They were 10-5 and they were already through to the semi-finals.
Playing their last game, they were 10-3.
Yeah,
and they were 14 games, 10-3.
10-3, and they decided to.
Was that a 10-team season?
No, it was 2010.
No, 2010 was an 8-team season. Sorry, so they were 10-3 going into their last game at Wankhede against KKR.
No, at Kolkata against.
At Eden against KKR,
and they sent a second string side.
So for the last game, travelling, and they sent a second string side. They rested.
No Sachin, nothing.
I think 6 players or something they rested from their first team.
And what happened?
They lost, and then after that, they just lost that momentum. They went lost in the finals.
Bad idea.
Yeah, that's also like just changing everything. You don't throw.
It's just silly, isn't it?
You don't. I mean, you change the upholstery of the seats. You don't throw the engine out of the car, right?
So yeah, I mean, they just doesn't send anyone.
I really doubt if Dhoni is really going to be doing that. On the other side, let's have a look at the Kings 11 Punjab team. So what are going to be their 3 changes?
Because there've got to be 3 changes.
It could be.
It's written in the rules.
It could be 3 or 4 changes. Who knows? That's been their issue for Kings 11 Punjab. There has been no consistency in their selection, and you kind of wonder who's selecting the side.
Yeah,
that's the real concern because they've got it wrong a lot of the times.
Yeah,
and
See, you've got a situation where Mike Hessen's come out there. Exactly, Ashwin, Mike Hessen, 2 very different personalities. I think if they were to look at this game and they were to look at this tournament, the one thing they'd ask themselves is, we went through 2 auctions. I mean, literally that 2018 and then 2019, and we didn't pick up a single all-rounder because if Sam Curran is the only all-rounder you have in the squad, you're leaving yourself with very little room to do much.
Yeah. My question to you is, would they be as motivated in Mohali with a game that's a dead rubber for them, as you saw RCB motivated to take Chinnaswamy? Because Virat was very clear. He says, we're doing it for our fans.
They've had good success in Mohali as well. They've played well in front of their home crowd. I guess they want to finish off well. Yeah. That's the most important thing. But with RCB, there was still another motivating factor of ruining Sunrisers Hyderabad, where there isn't that motivating factor.
They can't make any difference to the tournament.
They've got to find something within them, and you hope that they are. I mean, I think we might come back to the fact that there'll be players playing for their contracts again. That will be another factor individually. But as a team, have they got something to really gel them apart from playing at home? No.
I mean, you know that Ashwin's going to be fairly motivated because he looks like a motivated guy. Plus, he's up against Dhoni, remember, who's been his captain for the majority of his career.
The longest time.
Right? And you want to do that, right, Lisa? If somebody's been your captain, when you're playing against them, you're like, you bring the extra game.
Well, you feel that Ravichandran Ashwin is playing against everyone all the time.
In the world.
Yeah. There's always someone in the opposition side that he wants to get one over. That's how competitive he is. I think he's actually been an outstanding captain. I think tactically he's one of the better captains on the field. Unfortunately, the cattle or selection or things just haven't gone their way.
And you see, he's pretty much motivated every ball, right? I mean, there's no question about him. You want to see the rest of the team also sort of just feel that tomorrow and not come in being, all right, it's just another game and feel like we're playing for qualification. That fire.
And the basic problem is it's not that they're not trying, it's just that that cohesion is not there, They don't look like a unit. And see, this is one of the issues that happens, that Ashwin might be picking horses for courses, but most cricket players are not used to being in the team, getting dropped, dropped. It doesn't work. Cricketers don't think that way.
When you were with KKR, how did you, if there was news to be broken to a player saying, all right, you're not playing a sure shot, you would think, is not playing a game, what would that player...
It's tough for the biggest players.
Yeah.
I mean, Brendan McCullum sat out the 2012 final after top scoring in the qualifier match, and the reason was that Balaji went and got injured. The only other fast bowler we had to replace him was with Brett Lee. So once you bring in Brett Lee, this balance aside. But guess what happens? Bisla walks in, hasn't played a match for 5 days. Last 5 matches he hasn't played. Goes and gets 89 and 49 and wins the match for KKR.
Yeah.
But the point of it is that Brendan had to sit out, and it's so difficult. In fact, it's more difficult for the international players because all of them are top international stars.
And they're used to playing all the time.
They're never dropped in their lives. It's so difficult.
Wow, that is interesting. Well, it's going to be a good match, man. Listen, it's come down to the last day. And on the last day, it's come down to the last match. Just when you thought, hey, with 1 weekend to go, 3 teams are going to qualify. What's going to happen? The whole week's going to be boring. Not only was the week not boring, it's double negative, it's also come down to the last game. The very last league game, game number 56, Mumbai Indians playing the Kolkata Knight Riders. 2 teams with whom there's never a dull moment, in a ground where there's never a dull moment, in a game where you won't really get a dull moment. Let's have a look at their teams and see if there's going to be any changes. For Mumbai, you look like, you see Chennai and you go, all right, they've got their 11. You feel for the playoffs. You look at this team and you go, they've got their 11 as well.
Yeah, the only player I'd look at even thinking about is Balinder Stran.
Okay, but who do you get in his place? We discussed this the other night as well. There's no one to get in his place.
I mean, there's no other Indian fast bowler.
There is Rafiq Salam, who obviously played one game and was not impressive enough for them, and they just sort of forgot about it.
He
played the first game and then they forgot about him.
Yeah. And he opened the bowling.
Sorry? He opened the bowling.
He took the new ball.
He bowled the first ball of IPL. For Mumbai.
For Mumbai in the IPL.
Yeah.
For Mumbai in the IPL, and then pretty soon his last ball in the season as well.
Yeah, look, he's the only one. The interesting thing maybe Mumbai qualifies, if they go and play in Chennai, it'll be interesting to see if somehow Yuvraj comes back into the mix.
Yeah.
Because in Chennai, with the ball turning experience, it's still a gamble, but it's a gamble maybe worth looking at under those circumstances.
By the way, KKR has not won at Wankhede against Mumbai, just once. But Mumbai, on the other hand, have won 4 on the trot against Chennai. At Chepauk.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
That's interesting. So they are completely motivated to get there tomorrow.
They're okay to go
like,
to
listen,
Chennai.
we
They're
can
the
get
only team that wants to go to Chennai.
Yeah, we can fast track ourselves to the final, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, actually, even Chennai fans might just be rooting for Delhi because they think, hang on, we'd rather play Delhi than Mumbai on Tuesday in Chennai.
Correct.
Chennai fans will be rooting for KKR.
I found a way.
For KKR.
Chennai is for KKR because they are rooting for DC to make it there.
Yeah.
So they are rooting. Well, see, we found it. The whole puzzle just comes together. All right, so let's.
So it's basically Joey and Monica, right?
No,
it was
Chandler and
was
Monica.
It? No, it was Joey and Monica.
It's Ross and Rachel, but they were on a break.
Yeah.
There's let's look at the other team as well for KKR. This is KKR's 11 because they don't have anybody else.
No.
Listen. I'm really feeling now for Kuldeep, right?
Yeah.
Kuldeep had a bad few games. I thought they would just sit him out because, he's a class player. You can't drop him on form. You'd leave him a game or two, get his mind settled, perhaps let him go home, just chill out, come back, get his head right. and play, but he doesn't seem to be coming back.
Yeah, otherwise,
Robbie found his way back, not Kuldeep.
Correct. You have a situation, Rinku Singh really is batting that low that he's batting 6 or 7 that he's batting, it doesn't make sense. Better to get the extra bowler. The only other change I'd look at, and I don't know whether it's worth looking at, is saying that this is not Harry Gurney's kind of pitch. This is not where the ball grips and these things. I would say that if Lockie's around, why not give him a shot at, somebody else to bowl a fast one, because it's not a pitch. Or maybe you could do a straight switch with Carlos Brathwaite because he's a strong guy.
But where are Prasidh Krishna and Prithviraj Yara? Prasidh Krishna was a sure starter. Was he injured? Did he get hurt, or did he just get dropped?
I think he got hit for a bit, and then they tried Yara for one match, but they haven't tried him. But
I think they bowled Yara for more than one match, wasn't it?
Was it 1 or 2 matches?
2 matches,
in the middle?
yeah.
2 matches in the middle. But I think it's...
But they just gone.
I think they're persisting with these guys because Warrior is giving them something. So they tried 2 matches, Yara didn't work, Warrior seems to be working for them. Most importantly, they will also do the same thing, saying, why change a winning team?
Fair enough.
Team is winning.
Yeah, correct.
You're not doing that.
The only concern I've heard is Narayan's finger.
Oops.
So, and it's his bowling hand. So whether he keeps getting knocks on it, where it limits his ability to bowl the carom ball type thing, that will be the concern. And you also think Wankhede isn't a pitch for a spinner, so potentially you could bring in another international fast bowler. The one on the list there that you guys probably haven't seen is Matthew Kelly. Yeah. He bowls rapid pace and he's able to execute Yorker. So he played for
let's bring that up again. That means that he can get to play in place of Harry Gurney. There's Matthew Kelly, of course, right at the end of the list.
Yeah,
actually KKR won't hurt them to just surprise Mumbai.
Yeah, tell us about him.
Yeah, so he played for the Perth Scorchers, picked up a number of wickets there. He's impressed. He impressed a lot of people because he was bowling at 140 plus.
Yeah.
But then he bowls at the top, and then at the death he nails his Yorkers more often than not. And then Perth Scorchers actually a team that's normally done quite well in the Big Bash. He actually, the team was terrible, but he was amazing.
Yeah.
So, he's one that the Indian public haven't necessarily seen a lot of. Obviously, Simon Kadich, assistant coach, has seen him. Whether he has an influence to get him in, that would be my only
that's a good one. Because
Joy has influence. He's sitting right next to you. It's part of the management.
No.
Yeah, come on. Just send the energy out, Joy. Just send. It's pure KKR energy. You can do it.
But Gurney would not work on this pitch. So if Matthew Kelly is a good guy, they should just straight take him.
The Wankhede pitch, you can't. You've got to be over 140 if you're bowling pace.
Yep, he is.
Yeah, and you've got to nail your Yorkers because...
Oh, he does, yep.
So there you go. So that's a good skill. That's a good skill. Could we see that happening tomorrow? Could they throw him in on a match that is an all-important make or break match for them? Remember, KKR is fighting for qualification tomorrow. They're going to come strong. They're going to come hard. Mumbai is fighting for a top 2 spot. So that's going to be, in the words of Jim Carrey in The Mask, it's a spicy meatball. I got that right. I did.
Yeah.
Finally, I'm impressed Lisa with one of my accents. No, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop with the spicy meatball. Okay, so that's the 2 games tomorrow. We, of course, have a bit of business left, which is the joy factor question. If you could please throw some light.
Here goes. From India's 2010 Under-19 World Cup team, who is the first player to captain his country in a senior international match? And it is Saurav Netravalkar, who was playing for India at that time, went to Cornell, I think, did an engineering degree, started playing for the US, and he recently captained them in a T20 match in the UAE.
Brain drain?
This is the ultimate. So he's gone.
By the way, I just think this United States' policy of outsourcing has gone too far with this.
And they've just qualified ODI status as well.
That's right.
Got ODI status as well.
So now, bona fide.
Yeah, so he might be ODI captain and he'll be looking at Jaydev Unadkat and the guys, all his teammates, Jaydev Unadkat, KL Rahul, they're all his teammates and saying, I'm captaining my national team. What about you boys?
Yeah, and he'd probably tell them, hey guys, can I get you something? Would you like a sandwich?
That's
Lisa,
terrible.
come on, it's really good. Sandwich.
Okay, it's 10 past 12.
Are you serious right now? Our friends are watching in the US. Please, I do this to everything. I make fun of myself more than anything else. And if you feel bad that I did that, I will slap myself. The winner of the Joy Factor, who of course gets no slaps, who gets lots of hugs and prizes, perhaps. Viraj Vaghela. Congratulations to you, Viraj.
New name. I haven't seen this name before. Well done.
I think it's probably just Crick Rohit with his name changed.
You think they have all now have about 6-7
If
identities?
you guys have multiple Twitter handles, I'm going to get some hackers and we're going to find you. So don't do that. So Viraj, I'm hoping to see some evidence that you are indeed Viraj. Aadhaar card perhaps, your ATM PIN number, anything. I'm not that fussy. Just send us anything and let us know. All right, that's all we have time for. Lisa, it has been fantastic having you here with us today. Thank you so much for being here.
No worries.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're going to be here tomorrow as well?
Exactly. Pleasure being here. That should be an interesting match. I think tomorrow should be interesting.
I wish I was sitting in the studio with you guys to see this one.
He's already so nervous about tomorrow, I can't tell you. It's like KKR fans, and there's so many KKR fans in the Cricbuzz crew. You have no idea. Tomorrow they're all going to be wearing the KKR shirts. We'll put it out on Twitter and Instagram, don't worry. And they're all going to be, how do you pray in Bengali? What do you say? Like in Punjabi, we say Jai Mata Di. What do Bengali people say? Jai Kali Ma.
Joy Ma Kali.
Joy?
Ma Kali.
Joy Ma Kali. So there's going to be a lot of Joy Ma Kali happening in the studio tomorrow. You definitely want to join us for that on MPL Presents Cricbuzz Live. We're going to be here tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. From all of us here, it has been an exciting day of cricket. Why wouldn't it be? It was the penultimate day of the league stage of this year's tournament, and tomorrow, the final day. So you're definitely going to join us. I'm Gaurav Kapur from the rest of our crew. Got to say good night. Ajit! Gari nikal. Oh, RCB.